Yeah, yeah. Okay, I'm live. Okay, give me 5 minutes. Okay, hello everybody. It's the end of the week. It's Friday, December 7th. Another crazy day in the markets. So let's review. Let's firstly review our positions. We're going to talk about three or four different products today. Let's try to focus. And the first thing we're going to talk about is our copper position. So if we look at a weekly, if you remember, we talked about being long copper the other day. We're still long. We got long where this blue line is over here, and we're going to hold it till about 262, which is around the 200 weekly. This is basically a successful test of the 200 weekly in copper, so we're looking at to break these highs above here. So we got to wait. We're long copper at 273, sorry, and we're going to hold it right now. It's at 274.85. So you can see it's consolidating. This was a successful red bar test of the 200 weekly. Another successful test of the 200 weekly here. And then a third one over here. So three successful tests of the 200 weekly coming from oversold levels in copper. So we're going to hold that and be patient. Our other position, which we talked about, was long the Swiss franc, which you can see 6S. The Swiss franc is 6S. And we got long around here, around 10010. So you can see it's up 100 basis points. So let's assume 10 contracts. We're up around 10,000 US on that. If you have 10 contracts on, that's how much we'll assume for the lectures now. Always 10 contracts. So the Swiss franc is a buy. And what we're looking for in the Swiss franc, you can see weekly. You can see this weekly chart here. It's all these lows over here. We're looking for a test somewhere above these levels here, right where this arrow is here, or these tops. Get out of a partial position somewhere around 106. Another partial. We'll talk about it when it's there above 109. We like the Swiss franc because, you see, if it was a failed breakdown here, you could see there was a trend line over here and it broke down and then it broke up. So this is a failed breakdown on the Swiss, which basically signals a resumption of the potential move. Potential move up, actually. So nice weekly close on the Swiss franc. So another position, we talked about natural gas. We're out of that position already. We had a nice profit on that. Huge profit on natural gas. For those of you who had 10 contracts on, you'd be up around about $130,000. Actually, we were in around 299, but we're out of that position now. It's at 450. It's just consolidating. You only need one or two trades like that a year. The dollar, the U.S. dollar, we got out of most of it at 97. So let's take a look at the dollar. The dollar's DX. Right, we got out of most of it, remember, on a close above here. So our positions are long copper, successful test of the 200 weekly 3 times. That was why we got long copper. Long the Swiss franc on a failed breakdown. And now let's take a look at, I don't want to really take a look at Bitcoin. It's just, we'll take a quick look at Bitcoin. It's kind of dead money. It's just breaking down slowly. 3,000. Bitcoin has had its day. It was volatile at one point, and now it's just like drifting lower. It's dead money. Very hard to make money on something like this. Let's take a look at where the action is. The action is in the S&P. So if you take a step back and look at this chart over here, you can see at one point the averages were rising. The 50 was above the 200, lower average above the higher average, which we like. And then at some point right here, you could see, some people like to use death cross, whatever. It really doesn't mean that much. But anyways, the 50 is below the 200. Doesn't mean it can't. A lot of the times it's a reverse indicator, the death cross. So while people are selling, there's a lot of people buying on the death cross. So we got to look at what's significant on these levels. For those of you following my intraday service, which you could sign up for a free trial at toptradingsignals.us, we caught a few scalps on the S&P in the last few days for profit. So remember, you always want to look at and take a step back here and determine what is significant right here. So this was a big down day over here. October 24th, 2652 was a significant level. And this was a big down day, which is closer, November 20th. And the low of that was 2632. So that's closer. So 2632 becomes a significant level. Now, you could see this bar over here on November 26th. It closed above 2670. So above this down day. And then it comes all the way down here on December 6th. And on December 6th, so you're always looking at the significant level, 2632. So let's take a look at December 6th, what happened. $26.32 becomes a significant level. And you could see at 11:30, it recovered it and kind of went up and kind of went all the way down. I actually bought at the end of the day here on a recovery of 26.32, hoping it would go up. Because remember, 26.32 becomes that significant level. And at the end of the day, it started to recover that significant level. If you look here, so remember, 26.32 is significant. At what time? Around 3 o'clock, it recovered 26.32. Last hour, 26.32. But I don't like to hold on these over the weekend when I enter a position on Friday. I don't like to hold it unless there's 20 or 20 plus 20 points profit on it. So I got out of it. So a lot going on there in the S&P. Death cross, lower averages. The 50 is now lower than the long-term moving average. This becomes a significant level, 26.32, which is right over here. But we don't like this thing. So where's our next level? Our next level is right around here. So we'll probably come and test this level, hopefully 25.91, and we'll see if that's a potential buy. I'm predicting a gap down on Sunday. So for some of you who are aggressive, you could have shorted at the end of the day today. I like to buy, but I don't mind shorting either. I took a short the other day and made about 13, 14 points on it, on a failure of the 26.52 level. Remember, we're always looking at, you look at what levels are significant. Are they failing? Are they holding? When are they holding? When are they failing? Time is very important. Are they recovering the level? A lot of factors involved. But our big holds, like we said, are copper and the Swiss franc. Now, we could take a look at some other stuff. There's nothing on some of the weekly, but let's take a look at some other contracts. Crude oil, I guess, is big. It's in the news. Let's look at gold. Gold's made a nice move up. Kind of in no man's land here. Don't have a trade on gold. See, it kind of recovered this level and has never looked back. This level of 2012.04. More importantly, let's look at crude oil, which is in the news big time thanks to Trump. $200 weekly. Here's a doji at the 200 weekly right underneath it. Want to see more action at the 200 weekly. It's oversold on the weekly. It's below the black line, below the blue line, which we like, but we need some time. Japanese yen doing nothing, consolidating. We want to wait until it gets down here. Natural gas, we took all our profits in. Here's the Euro 6E doing nothing. We talked about the parabolic move up, parabolic move down. Interesting hold here on the 1322. Coming from oversold levels. Here. No trade there. It's not visible. Here's the pound. 6PB is the pound. Nothing going on. Looks like it's breaking this trend line. Don't see a trade there. Here's Canadian 6C. Breaking a downward trend line. You never know. This is too obvious. Breaks a downward trend line. Everybody goes short, and then it makes it close above the downward. The upward sloping trend line. So it breaks below, and then it could break above. So it's too easy to short. Rather buy. Rather wait for it to come up and buy. Silver, nothing going on. 1470, kind of dead money. There's a trend line connecting lower lows. Aussie, Japanese. Not a fan of these crosses that much. I like going against the US dollar, not an individual currency over the next. Big move in the euro against the Australian. Okay, so let's take a look at the S&P again. So ideally, what I'd like to see is a gap down on the S&P below 2,600, somewhere around here. And this low is significant also, 2603. Made a big move from 2,600 to 2,800 is a 200-point move, which is about a 7.5% move. So that's a significant move. So this becomes a significant level right here. Let's draw a trend line here. Let's plan our strategy. Save this. Those are going to become our significant levels. Keep in mind, though, the 50s crossed the 200, but it's still above the 200 weekly, so it's still in an uptrend. So even though the 50 lower average is below the higher average, we're still in an uptrend because we're still above the 200 weekly. Let's take a look at the 200 weekly. We're still in a big uptrend. So this doesn't mean that much. So yeah. So let's see how it acts at this level, 2,600. Probably see it next week. And we're just going to hold on to our other positions. And that's about it. Okay, everybody, have a good weekend. We'll regroup next week. Good trading.